Good morning. This is Dr. Vicky. Today is Wednesday of week one for data visualization and creative reporting. Welcome. I'm glad to have you. Um, Things are starting to probably pick up for you in the complexity and context of the material that you're learning here in this program. So I wanted to take a few minutes here on week one and just go over a little bit of my class structure and what you can expect and how this may or may not differ from what you're used to. So this is when you open up the course, you'll see what everything is we have here for you. Under the Start Here for Success, we have the course overview. I have posted numerous videos under Microsoft Power BI resources, short videos for the students to be able to use to brush up on their Power BI skills. I have a tab here for VCR resources, which I have resources for APA formatting, data visualization, data collection, data scraping, and data cleaning. So check them out. See if there's something you can use. And if you have something that you think others could benefit from, let me know. I'd be glad to add it. We have the professionalism tab and the Zoom VCR training that you're already familiar with. So let's go ahead and jump right in to week one. You ready? Let's go. Lesson one is data storytelling. What is that? That's telling a story with data. Now you're going to hear me say this until you get sick of hearing me saying it. Data and business intelligence professionals such as yourself are very different than business management, decision making, and decisions made with data. Let me say that again. Data, business intelligence, and business intelligence professionals such as you and I are very different. Here's a line between business management, decisions made with the data, and the decision makers. You, as a business intelligence professional over here, take the data in its raw format, putting it into a format using Power BI or whatever tools to visualize, enhance the data, to tell stories. The data will point out challenges, opportunities in the organization that we need to focus on. For example, looking at the financial statements for, let's say, Walt Disney World, you may notice that while revenue is increasing 20% a year, year over year for the last 3 years, net income is decreasing. Now, is that a challenge? Yeah, it's absolutely a challenge. Why? Because if revenue at the very top is climbing and net income, which is what's left after all the expenses, is decreasing, something's happening here in between that's out of line, out of skew with the trend. Because when companies and organizations budget, they start with the revenue. Every other line item, expenses, are budgeted as a percentage of the revenue. So if revenue is going up 10%, these expenses should go up no more than 10%, and the net income, what's left, should also go up 10%. So if the net income is decreasing, these expenses in here are not being managed to make sure that they're adjusted with the trends of the revenue. That's what business intelligence is. It is used to tell the story of what is happening in an organization using data. What was the data in that scenario? The data was the financial statements, the information on the financial statements. That is the revenue, the salaries, the expenses, the rent, the inventory, all of those things. Each one of those lines are data, okay? It's real data. It's not subjective. It's not opinion. It's like going to the doctor and getting a physical and getting your blood work. They'll look at their blood work and say, this is within this range, which is normal, this one should be here, so we've got to fix that. A company's data is like their blood work. They can't argue with the story that the data is telling you. So as a business professional, you take the data and put it in a format that tells the story. That's where it stops. You do not, as a result of that, make suggestions of what the company should do. Let me say that again. You do not use those challenges to make a suggestion of what the company should do. For example, you should not say Tesla's revenue is flat. It's not growing year over year. So we ought to expand operations in Germany. You went too far when you said what they should do about it. You're the business intelligence professional. You use the data to visualize the story. You give that information to the decision makers. They determine what the business ought to do with it. So when you're doing your assignments and your proposals and all of your information that you're putting together for your final capstone, we're not looking for you to tell the company what they should do, other than what they should do to make sure their business intelligence is working. You're not telling them what they should do as a result of the story that intelligence is telling them. You don't tell them whether they should expand or close operations or add new products. That is not for the business intelligence individual. That's for the decision makers. It is our job to give them the data in a story that they can see that while the revenue is going up, the net income is going down. So we're not controlling the expenses in real time to match expenses with revenue. So what are we going to do? We're going to use data. We're going to process it so that the decision makers on the front line are getting a dashboard every day in real time showing the data that they're responsible for so that they can adjust these expenses based on what's happening with the revenue. That's where our job is. So that is data storytelling. Okay, so this week, today is Wednesday, you have a discussion initial post. And then Sunday, you have a discussion response post, and you're going to do your resume in Power BI as well. Okay, so there's a capstone project survey that's due by the end of next week. The discussion all through this month, every week, the discussion is a continuation of the previous week, in that you're going to be conducting what's called dashboard in a day with Power BI. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be following a guided learning activity where your goal is to access the data, put it in Power BI, and do something with it, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to follow step by step in the workbooks that you'll be given. They're right down here, the workbooks. You're going to be following them step by step, like week one. Download the data set, complete the step-by-step lab from dashboard in a day, page 6 to 16, and then complete the lab pages 16 through 26. Okay, it's giving you an example, it's giving you pictures, what the screenshot, what it should look like. If it looks a little different, don't panic. Power BI is making adjustments every single day to what it looks like. The examples in the textbook are just to show you step by step what to do, but if it looks a little different, don't worry about it. Once you do all of these, every week, what you're going to do is when you hit the save and you stop the exercise right here, you're going to share the resulting .pbix file, okay, with your classmates in the discussion. So once you get that PBIX file or your Excel files or everything that's involved in it, you have to put them in a zip folder and attach the zip folder, because the .pbix, the Power BI extension, will not upload. So put it all in a zip file and attach it in the discussion form, okay? The main thing that most students forget to do is while you're in your dashboard in Power BI, go up to the top, hit share, and share your work with your classmates and with me, okay? You'll have to share that using emails with each of us. So make sure that you click and get our emails before you do that. Share that with us, and then we get an email that says you have shared that with us, okay? So that we can view your work in Power BI. Because if you go through all this trouble and I can't see the work, I can't tell if you had any obstacles or if you need any help, okay? After you do that and you upload the files, your discussion post itself is to tell me and your classmates what you learned, what you were surprised about, and what you think you may or may not use in your profession. Okay, this is going to be the same for the discussion boards every week. Must be a minimum of 3 paragraphs, 1 paragraph for each. Okay, it must be in an APA formatted Microsoft Word document. So you will prepare the document, copy just the content, not the cover page, post the content in the discussion, and then attach the APA formatted paper. So right here is Lab 1, Part 1, Assessing Data. In addition to the workbook, there's also a video that demonstrates the labs. So you'll follow along with those. There are your files. This is how to take your dashboard files and save them in your computer and access them. Then your response post is you will attach APA formatted paper in the response post as well using the RISE method. Reflect, inquire, suggest, and elevate. Okay, a heading for each of those. And be sure and attach your paper. All right. The assignment, students really enjoy this part. You're going to be creating your own personal resume, reflection of you, and think about how powerful that will be because you can show others, your employers, potential employers, your resume that you created in Power BI. So right here, you will follow along with this Create Interactive Resume with Power BI video. It's about an hour and a half, so please allow ample time. You will follow along with these two individuals as they walk you step by step through how to make your own resume with your own information. And right here, Power BI resume files. Download these ahead of time because you'll be able to use these templates and fill them in with your information to upload into Power BI to make your resume. After you do that, use Keynote or iMovie or PowerPoint to explain your completed Power BI resume, showing it in Power BI, explain how you made it, what you feel about it, and all of that. This is how to max out your points. Upload your video to YouTube and provide the URL link to me. So what will you submit? You'll share your resume in Power BI with me, and you'll put the link to your YouTube video in here to share with me. So that is this week. I hope you enjoy this. Data visualization is where it starts getting real. It starts getting fun. It's not theory anymore. So I'm excited to see what you create. You ready? Let's go.